Protect yourself at all times. Fight hard, fight clean, and good luck.
Okay.
Jack Reese, the third man in the ring. We are ready to go. 12 rounds of lightweight action coming your way. Jorge Linares right there on your screen. Taking on Mercito Gesta. Gesta with Freddie Roach in his corner. A change in the plan. And we are underway. They touch gloves, and we get going from the forum in Inglewood. Jorge Linares, as you heard Michael Buffer say, hasn't lost in over 5 years. Back in 2012, at back-to-back stoppages. Antonio DeMarco got him. Sergio Yayo Thompson got him. That was in Mexico. That was 2012. After that, he's changed things up, Doug.
Yeah, he was actually with Freddie Roach for those losses, his back-to-back losses in 2012. And since then, he's been with Ismael Salas, the Cuban trainer who's got a noted gym in London. So that adds to sort of the international flavor of Jorge Linares' background. Developed as a prize fighter in Japan from Venezuela. He's made his name in the United States and in Great Britain. And here he is in Inglewood, California at the still fabulous Forum.
Pull your arm up, pull your arm out. I'm going to stay off the back of the head.
I like the aggression that I'm seeing from Mercito Gesta, because that's what's always defeated Linares. You don't outbox Linares. Even a boxer as technically sound and skilled as Luke Campbell, Linares just still has that little extra. He's got that flashiness, that speed that judges take note of. If you want to beat Jorge Linares, it takes concussive power, or you got to grind him down. You got to get him into exchanges and bust that face up. That's what Antonio DeMarco did. And that is the task. That's the challenge that Gesta has tonight. He needs to sort of fight out of character a little bit because he's a talented boxer, but he's not a guy who's used to fighting for 3 minutes of a round, not a guy who's used to applying relentless pressure.
Linares known for starting fast and fading. Gesta for never getting out of third gear at times. Interesting to see how these two will match up tonight. As Linares and Gesta like knocking his head. Yeah, all right, let's go.
That's the right mentality.
Gesta in the biggest fight of his career, easily the biggest name he's gone up against. When his fight was announced, he was like, huh, really? This one? Gesta tweeted, I appreciate it. I want the opportunity. Let's go. Looking good with his body. Eats a right. Any Filipino, immediately the comparison is Manny Pacquiao, especially being left-handed. Gesta said, no, I'm my own person. Knows Manny, but doesn't know Manny.
I'm sure he's been motivated by Manny Pacquiao, the legend of Pacquiao, his entire professional career.
Right hand from Linares, solid. Opening round, not much feeling out. 10 seconds ago. As Gesta's bouncing around, this is a different Mercito Gesta we're used to. Usually he's really a slow starter. Jorge Linares, you mentioned those fights in England, Doug. Anthony Crolla, back-to-back victories. That's the name that got him back into the mix. We're like, oh, okay, Linares is still a contender here.
Yeah, because the first time he beat Crolla was on a nice little win streak of his own, and that fight was viewed as sort of 60-40, 50-50. And he won the fight, and then it was good enough, close enough, competitive enough to merit an immediate rematch. And then Linares just outclassed him and reminded people, oh, wow, okay, this guy, he's a special talent.
Let each other out of
here.
here.
A lot of people jumped off the bandwagon with those back-to-back losses in 2012. And they still weren't sold on him when he had to get up from the canvas to stop Kevin Mitchell, hard-nosed contender out of Britain. They weren't sure. They just, even though he'd won fights, they just still weren't sold on him. And then he reminded them with that rematch with Anthony Crolla.
Kevin Mitchell back in 2015. After losing to Yayo Thompson, Linares really just went back to the drawing board and slowly worked himself back. Fought some gatekeep. David Rodella. David Rodella fought everybody. But you got to get that confidence back up there.
That's true.
You mentioned that
step by step, yeah. And I think it's been 12 bouts in a row that he's won.
Mercito Gesta, his dad actually a Muay Thai fighter, introduced his son to the sport of boxing in the Philippines. San Diego is now home for him. Solid father. His dad actually just sparring with him. One day, the sparring partner didn't show up, so his dad, 54 years old, said, let's go.
He looks like it, too. He looks like he can still go rounds. And we should note that Gesta didn't have any amateur boxing experience. His first combat sport experience was Muay Thai fights. And then he moved to boxing. So for him to get to this point, we should note he turned pro in the Philippines at age 16. He learned on the job. But to make it to this point means he's got some natural ability. He has talent. He's got very good, he's got fast hands. He's got power. He's got good footwork. He doesn't always put it all together at the same time. Sometimes
let him go with the right hand.
Flashes of his potential. But that consistency, round after round, we don't always see that from Gesta.
Stop each other, stop, step,
later in the fights.
True. The same thing has been said about Linares. Although Linares has a more complete fighter and a more polished boxer.
Both fighters wearing the Everlast gloves today. As you have Mercito Gesta with the Cleto Reyes, which is more of that puncher glove. He's got the orange.
That's what you want against Jorge Linares, who has those high cheekbones. So he suffered from cuts around the eyes, swelling around the eyes in the past.
Gesta fought twice in 2017. Gilberto Gonzalez, Flaco Gonzalez, which is a good scrap. They went 10 good rounds. And then he stopped Martin Honorio, the Brochas Honorio, which is not an easy task, but Honorio was just game. Stopped him in 8. That was in July. I think I have to let, yeah. All right, you hitting me, and the most animated I've seen Gesta. I started calling his fights in 2014. He's always very quiet at times. You know, somebody would say he's Mercito Gesta with a Z instead of an S.
Yeah, sometimes he's lacked focus in the ring. He seems dialed in. At least he seems emotionally up for this fight, which is something we didn't see with his first world title shot. That was in December of 2012 against Miguel Vasquez. Yeah, that turkey-jerky, just pure technician. Bad style matchup for a guy who I don't think was mature enough yet, wasn't ready for that kind of step up in class, but also where Mercito was in his life, he was more focused on bringing the rest of his family to the United States than he was in preparing for his first world title shot.
Back in 2012, you see him, he's more mature now. One sister, one brother. Sister actually lives in Florida. You mentioned them growing up already. He's married this past summer. But 2016, he didn't fight at all. Had shoulder surgery.
That's right. That was after a draw that he had with Carlos Molina. I believe we called that fight.
Yeah. He hurt himself in the Carlos Molina fight. That was at Fancy Springs. Fought one more time against Miguel Mendoza. Got the victory. I couldn't do it. I only had one arm. Rotator, pretty much like a baseball player. Took all 2016 to heal himself. He's known, he's on that fringe top 15, right?
Yes, he's a fringe contender.
Oh, he's stepping up against a fighter of world class, Linares.
He doesn't look outclassed so far. I think he has sort of allowed himself to get outworked by the champion, though, in this round.
Good 1-2 from Linares in the final seconds of the third. Linares feeling himself, moving around, lost that shot right at the bell.
Here.
Linares coming out right away, the right-hander from Venezuela. Gesta listening to his corner, Freddie Roach. Jumping at it.
Freddie Roach has been very vocal in the build-up to this fight, particularly fight week. He's been trying to work on the psyche of Jorge Linares. Trying to put doubts in his head. He said that Linares is getting long in the tooth. In fact, more than that, he said he's an old man
At 32.
Yeah, 32. He's an old man.
Hey, but he does have 46 fights.
He has a lot of fights. No, and it's not always the age of the fighter. It's how long the fighter has been in the game, how long the fighter has been on the world-class level, how many tough fights the fighter has had. And Linares has been around a long time, and he has been involved in some grueling fights. So there is some wear and tear there. Is he an old man? No, I wouldn't say that. But that's part of Freddie Roach's job, is to hype his fighter up, to give his fighter confidence, and to chip away at the confidence of his fighter's opponent.
Let him go over there. Work out here. Come on, work out. Nope, so don't hit him there. Stop. When you're standing up, don't hit each other.
Linares gets going.
And he was also going about how Linares was talking about everybody except for Gesta. He's talking about Mikey Garcia. He's talking about Lomachenko. When you got a fighter in front of you. There were close negotiations with Mikey Garcia about possibly doing it. Those fights, those negotiations fell apart.
Not because of Linares, though.
You want somebody you don't promote, it's different. We all know in the world of boxing.
Mikey Garcia wanted to go in another direction. That's how he words it. And that's his prerogative.
Yeah, Mercito Gesta stepped up. Gesta in the orange.
I like that Linares is staying busy, just not waiting for a fellow name to step into the ring with him. But these guys are dangerous.
Linares,
unheralded challengers like Gesta are dangerous.
Linares fought Luke Campbell September. Here he is back in January in the mix. You have some guys saying, I'm going to take a year off before I find somebody big. You give him credit for getting in the ring. There's certain guys that can say, I'm only going to fight 2 times a year.
Stop. Everybody stop. Step back.
They can go and demand that because they're making the pay-per-view money. Other guys are saying acting for the fans. Linares slipped. That was a slip.
Slip.
As he was throwing it right.
Box.
Looking very good prior to that slip.
Shot that aerial because the freeways were not moving on a Saturday night.
That was 4 a.m.
It don't matter. You're lucky. You're lucky if it's moving that fast at 4 a.m. Jorge Linares moving against Mercito Gesta in the 5th round and is scheduled for 12.
Again, Roach telling Gesta what he needs to hear. He needs to back Linares up. That was a nice right hook landed by Gesta. But he needs to follow up any hook with the straight left. He needs to be working his jabs, and he needs to be coming forward.
Jorge Linares from Venezuela. He left his country at 17 to go to Japan because of the turmoil in Venezuela and also because the boxing isn't as strong. Left to Japan, and that's where he showed up knowing no Japanese, knowing nobody except for people taking a chance on him. He learned the language, learned the food, learned the culture. He's now all over advertising. He's on billboards. You can see him everywhere. He pays a lot of respect to taking promotions.
He did a great job with him. And he took to the culture, too. I mean, that helped, in fact, that he liked the culture.
That's a big difference, too.
He's a Tokyo guy.
Let him go.
From 2002 to 2005, all his fights were in Japan. Where he knows the Far East. He actually spent 3 weeks for his camp in Tokyo. Then he went back to Las Vegas, his home base.
Yeah, it's like a pre-camp in Tokyo where they do a lot of running, a lot of conditioning, all this aerobic type stuff. And then he gets to Vegas and the sparring is there waiting for him.
Actually sparred with Manny Robles Jr., the son of the trainer, Manny Robles.
That's good work.
Talking to Manny Jr., like, what was the light? He's like, it's intense when you're in there because he doesn't take any seconds off when he's sparring. He's a great guy out of it. Manny was supposed to be there for 1 day, liked what he saw. Told him to stay in here for a week. Manny's like, well, I didn't bring you enough gear for a week. He's like, here you go. Here's a bag full of stuff. 1, 2, body shot. Gesta puts his hands up, let's go. As the action picks up here in the 5th round.
This has been a tit-for-tat round. It looks like Linares has gotten into his rhythm with rounds 3 and 4. So this prize fight heats up. This still feel like Gesta needs to be doing a little bit more. He's falling back into that habit of kind of looking more like a sparring partner than somebody who's in there trying to win a world title.
Linares, 1-2 uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right hook from Linares. Gesta comes up, 10 seconds to go in the round. A good, fun round between Jorge Linares, Mercito Gesta at the Forum in Inglewood. And rapido, you heard that one, that's fast.
Was that from Linares' corner?
Yes. Unless Freddie learns Spanish all of a sudden.
You're right.
Linares with the one. That right hand is starting to find a home. Back-to-back fights where Linares is taking on a southpaw. Luke Campbell is also a southpaw. Over 150 amateur fights for Linares.
Yeah, and he won most of those. I think his record was like 150 wins with just 5 losses. Yeah, he was a 4-time national amateur champion in Venezuela.
If you add those with the 46 pro fights, he's been fighting his entire life.
Yes.
Gesta throwing punches, not landing any of them, and look at Linares with that smirk. That right hand landed from Gesta. Quick hook.
Gesta is still in this fight. I scored round 1 for Gesta. I think round 2 could have gone either way, but I scored round 2 up to round 5 for Linares. I just think Linares has been a little bit more consistent, offensively speaking. Gesta looks good in flashes, as he often does, but then there's these periods of inactivity from Gesta where he's not pressing the action.
That inactivity has been the knock on Gesta, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And he's proven to have solid whiskers. He's got good speed. He can punch. It's just been that lack of consistency, offensively speaking, that has really held him back. If he let his hands go more, I think he would have more victories by knockout.
Solid right hand from Linares, best punch of the night.
And you see, Gesta can take those punches and come right back.
He smiled. Look at Gesta bouncing around now. He's getting hit, but he's wearing it. You said he shows he has those whiskers.
There's a lot of natural fighting ability that Gesta brings to his fights, but
he
needs a more. Yeah, he just needs a more complete foundation. There's something lacking. The jab is just here and there.
That's why his fights go the distance.
Yeah, if he was a more complete boxer, I think he could set up his power better. And if he was just a little bit more active, put those fast, fluid but heavy hands onto his opponent and just wear them down. But he's not wearing down Linares.
No, Linares looks like he's getting stronger. 1-2 again from Linares.
He's got you in a headlock. Don't throw a punch up like that. Round's over.
Yeah, it's not good to see Gesta smiling a lot because he smiles after every flush shot. Whenever he gets hit, that's when he smiles. So you don't want to see him smile too much if you're in the Gesta corner.
Stop, both of you guys. Box.
Seventh round, it's scheduled for 12.
That was a beautiful left uppercut from Linares. And this pressure from Gesta is just not enough. It's not enough to disrupt that rhythm. It's not enough to stress Linares out. It's not enough to force Linares to exchange when he doesn't want to. And that's another beautiful left hand. A left hook to the body, and he got it back up to the head. And the reason he's able to get off with combinations like that is because Gesta is giving him the time and the space to operate.
The quick left hooks from Linares. Didn't see much of that against Luke Campbell, who was more elusive. Body shot. We haven't seen many combinations from Gesta. We see it from Linares.
That means Linares is in his rhythm. He's in his comfort zone when he's letting loose combinations.
You're seeing a Gesta who's never gone up against anybody of this caliber. He's not up against solid fighters, but Linares is a different step.
Right, and Gesta's been in with world-class fighters, elite level boxers like Linares and sparring.
Let him go, shoot.
And the work that Gesta's giving Linares is just fine for sparring. It's not nearly enough in a world championship bout.
If you're Linares, you don't feel like you're in any kind of danger right now. As you're landing those shots, as you're moving him around, as you're dictating this fight, as you're controlling this fight, as you're landing combinations, as you're doing whatever you want,
let each other go.
You want.
Pull out of there. Pull out, Jorge. Come on, pull out. Right, stop. That's it. Box.
Jack letting him work through it, trying to separate. Good action, good flurries throughout the fight. But it's been more Linares starting to control the last couple of rounds. Shoe shine, moving around, elusive. Gesta following him, walking into that right. Linares' trainer, Ismael Salas, el Cubano, telling him in Spanish, push him back, keep doing it. He can't see your speed. Meanwhile, in Gesta's corner, it was his father who jumped in and immediately started giving him instructions before Freddie Roach got going. So maybe some desperation in the corner of Gesta.
Well, they should be desperate. He needs to make something happen now. Linares has taken over this fight, I would say, since the third round.
Yeah. Especially the last couple.
Yeah, definitely rounds 4, 5, and 6. 7 was an excellent round for Linares.
Left from Gesta.
Pull your arm out, Jorge. That's it.
Yeah, that's not bad, but I don't think one punch is going to get it done.
No.
Especially if Linares can see it coming.
Especially when you're not known for having that punching power.
I think Gesta can hit. I think he has enough power to hurt Linares, but he's got to set that power up. You catch him with the shot he doesn't see, or he needs to try to overwhelm him with volume. He's got to put those shots together. Maybe Linares slips one punch, blocks another, and that third shot of a three-punch combination lands.
We haven't seen a three-punch combination from Gesta in a while. Early on, we had a little bit.
And it's hard because Linares moves very well about the ring. So, Gesta's someone who needs to have his feet set when he's going to land, more than a two-punch combination.
Right, he has to set his feet. Now that you mentioned that. With those bright orange shoes, you can tell when he's setting. Definitely not sitting down on any kind of punches. It's funny how the boxing world works. You lose a fight, everybody jumps off your bandwagon. You lose back-to-back, you get stopped, like Linares did. When forget you, out of sight, out of mind, you got to climb your way back in. And even in 2016, when he went to England to fight Anthony Crolla, how many people we've been talking about Linares having a chance in that fight? Now, saying he gets by Gesta, there's Mikey Garcia out there, the Lomachenko's out there.
And he's looking good. This isn't easy work.
No.
You do see the cut on on the outside of his right eye. It's probably from a clash of heads.
No, I'm not saying this is easy at all, but you see the level. Juan Linares is a world champion fighter.
Yeah, excellent jab. Very good at setting up his right hand. He uses his left. Sometimes he pauses with the jab like that. It sets up a straight right. Sometimes he uses a hook to distract Gesta, and then he sneaks a straight right in.
Got a cut.
Mix the straight rights to the body and then back up to the head. He's creative in there. Gesta, it looks like he's out of ideas.
Like a guy with the sparring can't figure it out. Interesting advice. He said this is where you got to be mentally strong. You have the power. We have this fight won, but I want you to win impressionably. Put on a show and do that by putting your combinations together.
And Salas is saying that because he does know that typically this is the point where Linares begins to fade.
And look at how he comes out. Be mentally strong because you know you have a fighter who they're not going to Right around this time is when he lets a guy come back into a fight.
You see Gesta is trying to land that right hook in between the volleys from Linares. So Gesta kind of likes it when Linares is letting 3- and 4-punch combinations with both hands, because he's like, well, maybe I can sneak one in between these shots. Thing is, he needs to do something in between those, what he sees as counter-punch opportunities. You know, in boxing, you have to create your opportunities.
Linares with that cut over his right eyebrow, nothing new. He's been cut in 5 separate fights.
Yeah, sometimes his face is a mess after a fight where he completely dominated.
This will be the 6th time he's been cut. Gesta trying to bring some pressure. Look at Jorge dancing around. Little showmanship from both of them. Crowd reacting and liking it. Puro show, huh? This little Salas put on it. Be impressionable. They're still snapping that jab. 1-2 in the body, goes upstairs with a quick hook. Right hand, Gesta eats it. Right in the middle of the ring. Bouncing around. There's Linares. Conditioning. The way he puts his workouts through. What he goes through with the Cuban trainer, Salas. Always in top shape.
Let him go, Jorge, that's you. Let him go. Ready? Pull your arm out. There you go.
Referee Jack Reese is allowing the fighters to work it out when they get tied up on the inside. I like that.
Hey, veteran guys, they know what's up. They're trying to tie him up on purpose, work their way out of it. Final seconds of the 9th round, headed to the championship round between Linares and Gesta. Oh, Linares. Salas the Cuban does a great job with his fighters. Trainer for Jorge Linares.
Gesta didn't have a bad 9th round. He did have some moments there. Just hasn't been able to rock or wobble Linares. And I'm sure the game plan from Freddie Roach was for Gesta to put more pressure on Linares, to cause some stress in the defending champion, right? But also to make it a very physical fight where, you know, Linares is eating more than just a few punches and a shoulder that produces a cut by the right eye. I'm sure Roach was hoping to see many abrasions on the face of Linares by this point in the fight.
You see those socks, actually not socks, the compression socks on the legs of Jorge Linares. Now those are supposed to help with fatigue. They're worn by runners and triathletes.
And cyclists.
It's to keep the calves and have the blood flow going. And Linares is one of the last couple of fights. I asked him, like, what's wrong? He's like, I started running with them. I love them. And it just keeps my legs fresh later on in the rounds.
And the commission's cool with it, so why not?
They are super tight. It's hard to get on. Are you sponsored by them? And he's like, no, I'm not. I was like, well, you're giving that company a lot of exposure today. A lot of the elite marathon runners swear by them. And honestly, it feels like it helps him late in the rounds. And he, you know, for the most part, his conditioning looks good.
Mark, Linares got a little cut from punches on his nose.
Look at Jack Reese punches on the nose.
Watch the backhands, fellas.
Body work from Linares.
Yeah, Gesta is a tough guy. He takes those shots to the head and body. And
Well, when your dad
tries to get some work done himself, but he's just not able to do it. I don't know what it is with him. I mean, you have to give Linares credit. Linares is not going to just stand there and let you wail away on him, but it's still that pattern that we've seen from Gesta's previous bouts against lesser competition, where there's these just periods of the round where he's not doing anything. I mean, he's moving. The upper body's moving. He's moving the hands, but he's not punching. Right.
Not bringing it. And we're done with 10 in Inglewood.
He's not getting in position to let those hands go.
There's also essentially a green room for when the performers, so you go back there and you'll see some of the who's who of rock stars that perform inside the forum. So the Eagles here. Well, take it easy, baby. Refurbished, beautiful location for boxing.
Get each other out. Pull your hands out, both of you.
We're in the 11th round. Linares with the red. Gesta in the southpaw position, but he's not really a southpaw. His dad, when he started training him, said you're going to fight as a southpaw. He's naturally right-handed because his dad wanted Gesta to use his dominant hand as his lead hand. So a lot of the Filipino fighters have done.
Yeah, most of them. Yep. Most of the Filipino standouts that we see in the U.S. are converted southpaws.
And the younger ones, you say, oh, I saw Manny Pacquiao fighting that way. I did it too.
Sure, they want to.
Gesta's father converted their gym, their garage, into a boxing gym. And that's how he started training. But that was back with Muay Thai.
Stop, both of you, stop. Step away from each other and be loud.
Gesta is his father.
Right, and a former Muay Thai kickboxer.
I think he's still fighting because he fought 2 years ago.
Wow.
And he's in his 50s. He's in his 50s. He's 54 and he still spars, dude.
Respect.
And he has the same tattoo as his son does. The tribal one over his arm and chest. And right now he's watching his son in a tough one against Jorge Linares. Linares putting on a nice clinic.
Gesta's father did a good job with him. Obviously, Gesta has received good work at the Wildcard Boxing Club. He's receiving good advice, obviously, from a Hall of Fame trainer in Philly Roach, but it just looks like Linares hasn't figured out.
Yeah. Pull your arm out, Jorge. Jorge, pull it out.
Linares is on that world championship level. Gesta is not there.
And style-wise, it's like Gesta doesn't have anything special for him.
That's all right.
Although he does, he occasionally lands. If you're a Gesta fan, he gives you hope. Put some money on Gesta. Put some money on the underdog. He gives you hope in spots. Just doesn't put it together enough to heap real damage.
Gesta is promoted by Golden Boy. Interesting to see how they move him in his career because they have a lot of 135ers that are young up and coming. It has to be the B-side against one of those guys. And you go up against Jorge Linares, you learn something about yourself, and you learn that there's still room for you to grow and learn.
Stop at the bell.
As Linares continues to rise.
Good luck, fellas.
12th and final round. Jorge Linares, Mercito Gesta at the forum in Inglewood. You heard Freddie Roach telling his fighter in orange, give me the best 3 minutes of your life.
But Gesta needs to. He's got 3 minutes to make something happen. If not, I think he becomes a stepping stone opponent. Linares
talking with Roberto Diaz, Golden Boy matchmaker, who said they have plans for him as early as April to get back into the mix. If nothing in April, you could see him in May. Let's just say Canelo's gonna fight in May. Come on, we all know.
We know that.
Who? Nothing official, but Canelo fights in May and September, people. Linares was cut on that right eyebrow, so see how that cut heals. That's a slip again.
Here, give me gloves.
Crowd reacting, was tangled up. Niño de Oro. Golden boy, Jorge Linares. Feeling himself in that ring. Michelle with him.
Let him go, let him go.
Gesta trying to come up, even when his corner tells him we need the best. Just that third gear, Doug. We haven't seen a fourth. We don't have a fifth. It's cruising.
He does not need to be in cruise control. He needs to be full throttle.
It's like the jockey at Santa Anita trying to whip his horse.
Sneaky.
Yep.
That wasn't bad.
You're trying to whip that horse to get yourself across the line, but your horse is running his show. He doesn't want to go win that race.
Well, both guys have proven to be able to take the best power shots from each other.
Yep.
So when you have that situation, you either need to outbox your opponent or outwork your opponent. Gesta's not going to outbox Linares, so he needed to be a lot busier in this fight than he was.
Mother hand, make it ugly, huh? Didn't do any of that. Landing a shot, or two.
He's landed some nice straight lefts, but they're not having the effect that Gesta would like them to have.
From the opening bell to the final bell, Jorge Linares has looked good. Did not fade at all, stayed within himself, controlled his fight. Benny Dow, can Linares go on 12 consistently strong? Yes, he did. A good show for Jorge Linares against Mercito Gesta, as Linares is going to come to the corner, put his step on the ropes, get his hands up, feel the ovation from the crowd. A good sized Venezuelan crowd in attendance at the forum.
To 110, Eddie Hernandez Sr. scores at 117 to 111. All three to the winner by unanimous decision. And still, WBA Ring Magazine lightweight champion of the world, El Niño de Oro, Jorge Linares.
He controlled the fight, controlled the card. Jorge Linares picks up his 44th victory of his career.
And I agree with that 10 rounds to 2, 118, 110 scorecard that Max DeLuca and Esther Lopez put forth.